ese fue el tipo de pastel cuando en el bienio progresista del 54-55 hacemos
la división fue del año 33.
Se puede dar mucho mejor servicio, un hospital nada más que había allí en la selva.
So that's Pajares up there where I stayed last night, and now the path is descending down to San Miguel, and I think most of the climbing is done. We might have just a few little ascents today, and there's one alternative track that I'm going to take to stay off the road, and that might require some climbing, but for the most part, now the San Salvador heads down. So when I walk and hike, I've always kind of thought that the descents are easier for me than ascending and going up. But this Camino, including the Camino Vasco and now the San Salvador, man, there are some really steep, rocky descents. I'm on one right now. And again, from the video, you can't really tell how steep it is, but yeah, there are just sections you've got to be so careful, and I'm like really using my muscles to kind of tense up and make sure I don't slip. And I woke up this morning and my legs were a little bit sore for the first time in weeks, so that is all due to the descents. There's a really nice sign here for the albergue in Llanos de Someron. I think it's a newer albergue, and I had considered staying here. In my initial itinerary, I had all these different options on what to do, and I had considered walking there for my stage yesterday to lengthen the stage a little bit, and I think that actually would be a really nice option. Yesterday, by staying in Pajares, it's 15 kilometers, and I think this albergue is only another 4 or 5 more down the road, so could make for like a 19-20 kilometer day. Still, you get like kind of split up the beautiful stages. I think the only drawback to that is one, missing out on Pajares. The albergue there was so wonderful. The views were outstanding. It was just a really nice place to stop. And then there's this albergue where I'm going to stay tonight in Bendueños that I keep hearing wonderful things about. When I said to the hospitaleras last night that I was staying there, like, they both smiled and got so excited that that's where I was staying. I've read wonderful things. People have given me tips about staying there. So I think the only problem with staying in this albergue would be you would then miss out on Bendueños because it would only be like a 10-kilometer day for the next day. But anyway, it's nice to know that there are some options on the San Salvador. So I'm leaving Llanos, and there is an albergue back there, and the sign said albergue bar, and I kind of looked back. It's set back a little from the road, and I saw some tables set up and then some pilgrims waving at me. And I just waved back and kept going, but I probably should have checked it out just to see if like you can get food there or get a coffee there. It looks like it's probably true that you probably can. I had 2 cafe con leches this morning. The albergue, I had a banana. That was my dessert from last night. I had some bread. I had a pastry that I've been carrying around, and I've only been walking for, well, maybe about an hour and a half, but I just didn't really feel like stopping or eating anything else. But I think for future pilgrims, I would check that out. I think it is possible that there is the option for maybe not food, but at least a coffee. Okay, here is the option for the kind of alternate route. It says the difficulty is high, but I think it's actually more like medium because I think they've done a lot of work on the trail to make it not quite as risky. So we're gonna check it out. 5.2 kilometers. I am taking a break at this little chapel. The area that was really overgrown. When I last walked, it wasn't so overgrown, but it really is now. And so I hoisted myself up kind of on the wall to sit. And of course, like as I did so, kind of walked through some stinging nettles. So now my legs are stinging a little bit, but it's okay. It's in the shade, very nice. You can see how much I am sweating. It's kind of gross. I sweat a lot when I walk, but this stage is tough. I am almost done, and I think it might be about 17 kilometers. We'll see by the end. But again, it was a short stage, but that alternate route, that I think for me is probably the most challenging part of the Camino de San Salvador. It was hard. It wasn't impossible, and I would probably do it again if I do this route again because it was so beautiful, but some sections of it were really, really tough. And my legs are a little tired from yesterday, and there's a lot of ascending and descending. I don't know what I was talking about earlier when I said like, oh, it's going to be mostly downhill. I think I've ascended as much as I did yesterday. So this is another kind of tough stage. Super happy I split it up into 2. This would have been a really, really tricky 30 kilometers. Doable, but long, tough day. So I am happy that I split it in 2. Got to get a video of the Aquarius that I've been carrying, and now I'm drinking on my break the vending machine at the albergue where I stayed last night had Aquarius, which made me so happy. So I got some this morning before heading out on my walk. Lots of signage to point me in the right direction to my albergue. 1.4 kilometers, but I think it is all uphill. Definitely all uphill. I probably haven't gone, definitely not even half a kilometer. It's just getting steeper. This is a lot for the end, and this is a short stage. More and more thinking if I had done 30K yesterday and ended with this, I would have been exhausted. Not impossible, but exhausted. Okay, the update. I am still climbing, still going up, getting rather sweaty again. But I was thinking as I was walking that if There is a 1.5 kilometer steep climb to get to the albergue. That means there's going to be a stellar view at the top. So I'm excited about that. Not super excited about the rest of the climb. The only thing you can do is keep putting one foot in front of the other. Begin with a single step, keep going, you get there. Yeah, I think the view is gonna be real nice. This is the albergue. What a beautiful spot. That is the view out the back. And it is right behind the church, which is here. I think it used to be the priest's house.